It's called a promo,
Shut
kid.
your
And
mouth,
if you want to
John.
be the big dog, you're going to have to learn how to do it. So go ahead.
You ready? No! I said, are you ready?
That was good. I'm glad you finally decided to pull that giant stick out of your butt and have some fun for once in your life.
You're uneducated marks! You sit there on your phones tweeting out your opinions like they're worth a damn. Let me explain something to you people. You don't know shit!
And I'd like to think that maybe this company will be better after Vince McMahon.
We're going to shift it now. With this through the table, we're going to do some pretty impactful shit. So I'm really excited. I've been working on my homework for this one for a little while. This is our Juneteenth edition of Through the Table. And with that, I want to do something really special for the culture. So today we're going to look at Black excellence in professional wrestling. And it is going to be a hell of a ride.
Buckle up, Teddy.
Oh yeah. I'm locked in on this.
So I'm all
definitely locked in. I'm all in.
See, we're going to go back into the very, very early depths of this. And then later towards this episode, we're going to talk about some of our current Black superstars. But to understand the present, we got to look back into the past a little bit. And this is just a little history of Black world champions that I got from, let me make sure I get my source in here. We got it from ProWrestlingPost.com. So shout out to them. That was an exquisite article.
Thank you.
All right, getting to reading here. I wish I had brought, I need some, reading glasses. Put my glasses on and do like this.
It's just like, you know what? Let me kind of,
All right. This is going to be a hell of a name for you. The original World's Wrestling Champion was crowned in 1905 when George Hackenschmidt won several tournaments to be recognized as world champion in North America. Hackenschmidt.
Hackenschmidt.
That's where this all starts.
Wow.
This title was decommissioned in 1956 and picked up again with the NWA Championship in 1957. Nearly every major world championship that exists in the United States today can trace its origins back to this title, because that's very true. NWA came and brought a world title to every territory. So, Now, during the earliest days of professional wrestling, matches were segregated. Black and white wrestlers were considered different divisions. Some of the territories established a world Negro heavyweight champion in addition to their other titles, so it was like a separate title altogether. History is unclear whether this was a physical championship or simply a gimmick. The earliest known world Negro champion appears to be Reginald Siki. He was billed as champion starting in January 1924. Oof, way back still.
Wow.
Alex Kefner as Black Panther 1933. George Godfrey in January 1935. In 1936, the NWA recognized Jack Nelson as Negro World Champion from at least March 8th to April 3rd, 1936. Okay, so, and they still, even with that, we can't tell if it was an actual championship or if, this was just a gimmick. I guess there's no footage on it.
No, not really. It's just it was really old back then, but it's the fact that it's having divisions based on race, that's wow. That's
as segregated as it gets.
Yeah, that's man, even in wrestling, they just kind of just separated that. It's kind of with the whole the bath, the water fountain and stuff like that. That's just it definitely the racism is still there.
Yeah. Let's get into some origins past that. Rufus Jones, 1938 in Kentucky. Jack Claiborne. I don't understand what that's trying to say. Oh, I guess there's just both people. Became champion in February 1941. He was recognized as such in various territories until March 8th, 1954. Sealy Samara was named the champion for being the only Negro known to the territory sometime after May 1941 in Iowa and other states, reigning until 1954. Geez, for a whole 13 years.
Wow.
Well, and that's because he was the only black male in the territories, I guess. So like nobody else could hold the title because it was a segregated title, which again, I feel like if there's a physical title, we would know there was a physical title. Somebody would be like, yeah,
Yeah,
I've seen that belt. Oh yeah,
yeah,
that's that
it's
belt.
if that belt would have existed in physical form, then yeah. But it just felt like it's like, dang, he's the only black wrestler in that. That's just like, really? That belt was for him.
Now, during the old territory days, they were becoming and being recognized as world champions and relied heavily on the National Wrestling Alliance, the NWA. The NWA was the preeminent ruling body of professional wrestling, which is what I was just talking about. They kind of there were still territories, but the NWA oversaw all the territories by that point. So there was no need to have a segregated title whenever they could just be billed for the actual title. Their board
Hmm.
of directors decided who would be their world champion by vote. Each territory had their own champion, but would normally recognize and acknowledge the NWA World Championship and whoever held it as the main title for each of the associated territories. There were cases in the history of the old NWA when different men were recognized as champions in different territories. Generally, the world champion toured the partner regions, typically facing their champion, helping to build the profile of their top star and prestigious title. And this is literally just getting into NWA, how it worked, and that we know how it worked. Now,
Yeah.
this is where I really wanted to get to. So I guess that's kind of why I wanted to speed through all that note. Unofficial recognition. The NWA did not officially recognize its first black world champion until August 2nd, 2002, the night Ron Killings won the NWA World Heavyweight Championship, which this was
Oh
at the start of
yeah.
TNA. This was like, when TNA had just started up and they were just
Yep.
overseen by NWA.
Yep. Yeah. Actually, you know what? Yeah, because at the time, Ron the True Killings, at the
Yeah,
time, he won that belt. He won that belt, being the first black wrestler to win that NWA World Heavyweight Championship. And like when NWA TNA was definitely in this business relationship, and like this was
yeah,
like the early days of TNA, the
yeah.
early days of TNA before the six-sided ring.
Yeah, they had just started, I think, like 9 months prior to this. He was one of the first acquisitions they got that they're like, yo, this guy is more than what's going on over here. And this was before even R-Truth and the silliness of R-Truth. So that's
Yeah,
why on the main
he was
show,
K Quick. He was like
exactly.
he was in WWF
Yeah, and to
at the
get K
time as
Quick
K Quick. So
in a road dog.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
But like they knew he could wrestle past that. He was a really gifted wrestler and he could be somebody that they put a world title on in this promotion. So that's why on the main show I've always brought that up because that's something I feel like should always be attached to him. The more
Yeah.
his career spans, like don't forget he was the first and
First
there's kind
black
of
NWA champion. Like
yeah,
he like this man was known for that. This man, like, if you see his resume in TNA at the time, then
yeah.
you would have known.
Yeah, I went back and watched some bomb ass matches when I first had found that fact out. But the asterisk next to it, in this next note, decades before Killings held the title, Bobo Brazil defeated Buddy Rogers, becoming the NWA champion in '62. The NWA does not acknowledge this win officially, so
Mm.
that was a whole other thing. Is like Bobo Brazil was a victor over the NWA champion. Like I don't know why the NWA didn't recognize that, or maybe I could look that up.
Yeah, like yeah, they didn't acknowledge it because why? It's because probably it's not. It's just a personal a wrestler of color. It's kind of pretty just why. It's like and it's kind of strange too. It's like they didn't acknowledge that.
Acknowledge.
You don't fucking acknowledge today.
Acknowledge.
Like y'all better recognize.
Acknowledge.
Y'all better
Okay,
recognize.
let's see what the internet has to say. The NWA did not initially recognize Bobo Brazil's title win because it was part of a storyline where he was meant to refuse the championship after defeating Buddy Rogers. The angle involved Brazil hitting Rogers in the groin, leading to the win, but he would then decline the title. This was a common wrestling trope at the time to create drama and intrigue, which I think more so, again, being that it was 1962 and segregation was at its height, they probably were like, yeah, we want you to win, but we don't actually want you to be the face of the
The company.
NWA. Yeah.
Be the face of the NWA.
That's not true. No.
I feel like he said, nah, that shit ain't gonna fly. Tried to go into business for himself, and they're like, yeah, we're just not gonna recognize this win.
Yeah. They're like, that shit ain't work for me.
That ain't worth a fuck. Why this is on through the table.
Ain't worth shit.
I want to say some things.
But this bitch is getting on my nerve.
Territories operating outside of the NWA were considered to be outlaws. Several of these rogue organizations would have African American world champions. Big Time Wrestling was one such of these outliers. On April 4th, 1961, a black wrestler named Bearcat Wright, I know that name, won the Atlantic Athletic Commission World Heavyweight Championship. What the hell? The Atlantic Athletic Commission World Heavyweight Championship. Oh, that's just the ACW. Okay. Making him the distinction of being the first unofficial black world champion. Bearcat Wright.
Bearcat Wright. Yep. I heard that name before because they're trying to put that remember, they put that Bearcat name with Keith Lee.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I want there's something tied to. Okay. I never really noticed that or like made that connection.
Yeah. That was just kind of why I remember at that time when Keith Lee was in WWE and we were trying to give him a character.
Okay. Again, on August 23rd, 1963, Bobcat, now wrestling for WWA Los Angeles, would make history by winning his match against Classy Freddie Blassie for the WWA World Championship, which traced its lineage back to the original World Heavyweight Championship. That night, he became the first officially recognized black champion of the world. Bobo Brazil won the WWA World title 3 years later on January 12th, 1968. In October of that year, WWA would join the NWA. Brazil wrestled Gene Knitsky to a time limit draw in a title unification match. Okay, good to know.
Thank you.
History of Black World Wrestling Champions furthered this. Bobo Brazil once again fell short of becoming NWA champion when they recognized Knitsky as champion after their match. The WWA World title stayed active in Indianapolis. On April 25th, 1972, Art Thomas won this version of the title. 9 years later, on November 1st, 81, Ernie the Cat Lad. I remember. Fun fact, Ernie the Cat Lad had the Funkadactyls theme music before the Funkadactyls did. Just a little fun fact there.
Oh, Ernest the Cat Miller, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Ernie the Cat Lad won the title from Dick the Bruiser.
What?
I'm sorry. Oh no, I'm supposed to be serious, but fuck. Dick
Oh
the
God,
Bruiser.
I'm sorry. That threw us off. I'm sorry. God, I can't.
Nah. Okay, Bobo Brazil would win this title twice in 81. First in July and again in November. Calypso Jim was the second to last champion, winning the title in the summer of 1988. After the national expansion of the WWF, AWA, and JCP, I don't know what JCPenney's has to do with any of this.
JCPenney.
They said in the JCP.
JCP, huh?
In the early 1980s, major titles were merged into others. The AWA, which had the best looking titles, merged its world title with WCWA's World Heavyweight Championship and created the USWA Unified World Heavyweight Championship on December 13th, 1988 at Super Clash 3. Super Clash 3.
Super Clash.
Reigning AWA champion Jerry Lawler defeated Kerry Von Erich, unifying these two titles in one. In March 1988, before the title unification, Iceman King Parsons won the WCWA World Championship, defeating Kerry Von Erich. The USWA ran from 1989 to 1997. Nice.
Wow.
Some gaps now.
Damn.
Charles Wright. Several black wrestlers would hold their world title. The first of these men was Charles Wright, a future member of the aforementioned Nation of Domination stable, wrestling under the moniker Soul Taker.
Soul Taker, yep. Soul Taker, because because before the Godfather, even Papa Shango, he was a Soul Taker. Yep. So him and Undertaker they've been road dogs, so they have a
Yeah.
long history together.
Taker and Taker.
Mm-hmm.
He won the USWA title from Jerry Lawler on October 23rd, 1989. Neither of these title changes is acknowledged by the Texas branch of the USWA. King Cobra was next. He also defeated Jerry Lawler, becoming world champion on August 27th, 1990. He would later be stripped of the title after no showing a defense, probably in protest. The WCWA leaves, severing ties with the USWA. Jerry Lawler won the title again after a tournament to crown a new champion. He would secure this title several times more before dropping it to Kamala in the first of his 4 world title reigns for the company on November 25th, 91. Kamala won the USWA title for the second time on December 9th, 1 week after losing it back to Lawler, and the title was vacated. Why can't they just keep the damn titles, man?
Right? It's just like just keep it. Like
Oh, man, just to add on, the title was months more vacated after Kamala defended against Coco Beware, against whom he won their rematch for his 3rd reign with the belt. 2 weeks later, Coco Beware won the title for the first of his 2 championship reigns. This marks the first time a world title changed hands from one black champion to another. And cheers to that.
Give me a hell yeah.
oh yeah.
They're
Definitely.
like, either way we win. They're looking back.
Nah, here's the thing. Because like when it comes to because here's the thing, when it comes to 2 black wrestlers feuding for, a world championship, who wins? Us.
Exactly. We all win.
Root for anybody that's black. That's it.
And then also within this same kind of timeline, not too long later, this is the one we talk about the most to this day, is Ron Simmons. At this juncture, returning to the story that inspired this article, Ron Simmons, August 2nd, 1992, WCW Championship victory. On that fateful night, Big Van Vader was set to defend his WCW World Championship against Sting. Before the bout could take place, a debuting Jake Roberts would injure Sting with the DDT. In a stroke of brilliance, Bill Watts, president of WCW, held a raffle to decide the next contender for Vader's championship. Ron Simmons won the raffle, securing himself a shot at the champ in the main event. Simmons defeated Vader, becoming the first African-American to win the WCW World Championship. It was a great moment in wrestling history. Simmons celebrated in the ring with his fellow faces from the locker room. As in war, history favors the victors, and WWE won that war. So on that night, Ron Simmons became recognized as the first African-American World Heavyweight Champion in wrestling history, period, because once, it finally got sold years down the line, that's what the lineage gets traced back to. That's what's about all this. Also crazy to know he got that shot in a lottery. Like, it could have just been
in a raffle too. That's like, it wasn't even like a number 1 contenders match. It was like a raffle. Just a raffle. History
was not going to be denied, is what I hear out of that.
Oh yeah, no, you can't deny the fact that Ron Simmons won Tough SOB, and the fact that being acknowledged as the first world champion of WCW.
Thank you.
Dude. And I always thought, again, way before we even started doing this, as a lot of people thought, he was just the first, period. Like, nobody had held any titles before him up to that point. And one name we're about to get into that made me wonder that was Junkyard Dog, because I knew Junkyard Dog was wrestling in Stampede and all these other different territories in the 70s, and how could he not be? It wasn't until, for him, 1992, September 22nd, he won the USWA world title, kicking off his only world championship reign. Crazy to me. 2 years prior, he unsuccessfully challenged NWA champion Ric Flair. Only 5 days later, Junkyard Dog would lose the title to Butch Reed. I botched Reed. Damn.
Botch Reed.
On December 7th, 1992, and what became a recurring theme for 24-time champion Jerry Lawler, good God, lost his title to Coco Beware, beginning his second and final title reign with the company.
My God. Man.
I hate Jerry Lawler, so it just burns to be.
I know, man. It's just come on. It's let somebody else win. Let somebody be the champion.
Especially Junkyard Dog, who's been around up to that point 20-something years.
Yeah, dude. Junkyard Dog, he only had one One world title reign. It didn't last long, did it?
That's crazy. No. All right.
Man. Respect to the GOAT, though.
Charles Wright returned to USWA during a talent exchange with the WWE as Papa Shango. Wright would win his second world title before dropping it to Owen Hart the next month.
Okay. Just before Nation of Domination.
Just right before. Wright was unhappy that he felt the company took advantage of his being black by having him win the world title in front of the mostly black crowd. He would quit the business before eventually returning to WWE, and I don't think a lot of people know that. I feel like that's probably one of the like hidden gems of the show is that at one point the Godfather himself was like, fuck this racism I'm having to deal with, because they said, okay, you're going to win the world title in front of a predominantly black crowd, but we're going to strip it off of you. We're going to have you lose it to Owen Hart whenever we get back to a predominantly white crowd.
That's really fucked up. That really is fucked up, because like, dude, he just won that title to like a black crowd, but it's just like when it comes to the white crowd, it's just like,
yeah,
you're gonna make him lose to that? Like, no, that's not like, no, it should have kept it. And the fact that it's just like at the time, man, it was just like the racism was heavy.
Yeah, big time.
Wrestling politics, man.
And he, like I said, came back to WWE and had like a badass career in it. But you kind of think about that. You hear a lot of people from back in that era come out and say it now, like they really were just trying to have a job. And that's just what it comes down to, is like you don't want to lose your job, but like you're also just not very happy in the place you're at.
Yeah, just not happy with the way like it was being done.
Now, several years later, Ahmed Johnson, another alumni of the notorious Nation of Domination faction, also won the USWA World Championship. With his victory over Jerry Lawler, King Reginald became the last black world champion of the USWA in '97 before the promotion shut its doors 2 years later.
Damn.
That takes us into sort of half-ass current history. We're still decades back, but now we're going to start looking into more modern era black superstars that have won the world championship. And of course, the biggest one past Ron Simmons out of that WCW field is Booker T.
Booker T
is going to be our first and foremost to look at, because I mean, he won it 4 times before the invasion, a 5th time after. That's when we get the 5 time.
Yeah.
Five times. Same.
Oh, baby. Yeah.
And then even past that, you know, like you go into the King Booker phase. He wins King of the Ring down the line. You get King Booker, which is where I kind of got to know him a little more. He was world champion then too, winning it a 6th time.
Yeah.
Look at it.
The big goal. Yeah, he got the big goal the 6th time when it was WWE.
You pull up his cage match, it is insane the amount of titles he's actually held. All the tag titles is Harlem Heat, all the US titles. Oh man.
Yeah. Especially like his catalog. His catalog is definitely needs to be acknowledged.
Okay, I have an idea here. I'm going to try something out here. This is through the table first. I've never tried this before. What I'm trying to do here is I'm going to log into Zoom into this meeting as myself. And I'm going to mute it, share the screen so y'all can see what I'm seeing. Wow, and I can see it on my other screen. I feel so advanced. This podcast has come so far.
Look how far it came.
Look at this damn list.
Dog, his list, dog, the list of the titles that he hold.
Yeah.
Man, like, it's so much. Like, his resume just speaks for itself, man. It's like he became the United States champion. He became the TNA World Tag Champion.
Yeah. Remember, here's a fun fact about Booker T and TNA. Do you remember, what was it? It was like the Icons champion, the Immortals champion. Not Jeff Hardy's Immortal Championship, but
TNA Legends?
Yeah. It was a badass title.
I think I
Main
remember.
event
No,
Mafia.
I didn't see like I didn't watch TNA at that point at that time, but I know Booker, Scott, Steen. They were part of like a group,
The
like
main event Mafia,
the main
bro.
event
It
Mafia.
was
Yeah,
hot. It was hot.
it was high. I know Booker was like off the rails, like
Okay.
funny as hell.
This one right here was one of my favorite tag teams of all time. Booker T,
Dude,
RVD.
dude, their theme. Okay, even though their tag team run was pretty good, but the matchup of both of their themes was just messy as hell. It was messy as hell.
Hell yeah.
Having the mix RVD's music and then Booker T's music where he had that rap song at the time when like WWE originals where wrestlers perform their songs. John Cena has the basic thugonomics on there, but it was recorded before WWE originals was happened.
Yeah. 10-time WCW World Tag Team Champion with Harlem
Harlem
Heat.
Heat,
Another 9 times right there.
dog.
Jeez.
Harlem Heat they really had the tag team division on locked in WCW.
What the hell? They held it too many damn times.
Too many times,
Too
like
many times.
10 times, 9 times, 18 times.
Yeah, Booker T is a legend, man. It's no secret. Like, you can disagree with him nowadays in 2025 in certain areas if you want to, but looking at his wrestling career, man's solid all the
You got to
way.
notice something. This man is from he's from Texas. You got
Yes.
to know something. He's a Houston legend. A Houston legend in Texas, because like you got to know some. Hey, some of the best wrestlers came from Texas. We got the
Yep.
Von Erichs, we got Taker, we got Austin.
I could think of like 100. Athena's number one.
Athena also
She's on
got
this
Thunder
list.
Rosa.
In fact, let's jump like the 7 names before Athena. I would love to look at Athena right now because we're already on the subject.
Oh man,
Dude,
let's talk
Athena's
about it.
What do we want to talk about?
This is literally a woman who's held the ROH Women's title for over 900 days now. Just a day over 900.
Over 900 days. So if we ever get to see hitting number 1,000, she's the greatest of all time.
I mean, and also you can't forget like her work in NXT when she was in WWE. The Ember Moon phase was solid.
Yes.
Co-owns one of our favorite wrestling promotions in Dallas, MPX.
Yeah, of course. Like, definitely, she's a trainer. She co-owns it. Even like, man, look back at it. It's like she came from a long way. Like, she was part of. She definitely was part of like our Booker T. I think did Booker T has his wrestling promotion at the time when Athena was on it.
I mean, I know Reality of Wrestling because I almost went to that school myself, but I don't think Athena was part of it, or if she is, I didn't know about it.
Yeah, because I know she wrestled for a long time though.
Here, hold on, I was gonna get the screenshot on again.
Yeah, because I know she did Shimmer wrestling because she wrestled like women in the indies.
Mina Shirakawa right now, Thunder Rosa.
I want to know where she trained at. If I can look it up separately.
Drink it in, man.
What do we want to talk about?
Where is she at? PCW. So it was Ember Moon, Adrian Reese, Trouble. Man, cage match is crazy, bro.
Yeah, they got a lot of shit. They got a lot of history that we don't even know about.
Go back to her titles here. Back to a great amount of titles.
What?
ACW American Joshi Champion.
Joshi. American Joshi. Yeah, okay, that's what I know. It's like she calls herself the American Joshi. So that explains it. That explains why she calls herself that. Okay. I see why. Yeah. That's extra points for Athena. I feel like, man, can you imagine if Athena would have like been on Stardom so like a little bit longer and stuff, she would have take over.
Oh my gosh, I looked up where Athena trained, and then it brought up some Greek mythology.
Agree with that.
The
Oh
hell,
my,
dude, I'm dead.
bruh.
Oh, she trained uh with Skandor Akbar at Booker T's Pro Wrestling Alliance. So before it was Reality of Wrestling.
Oh, okay, yeah. Cause I know she was part of Booker T's wrestling school, but it was at a different name. Okay.
Good to know. Good to know. We talk about her like, she's this great legend. She is, but she's still got many, many years ahead of her. So,
Oh yeah, she definitely is. And one thing is like with black female wrestlers and stuff, it's like it wasn't really like a lot. Like at the time back then, it wasn't really a lot of black female wrestlers and stuff. Like we had Jacqueline, we had
yeah,
Jazz, we
got her.
have we have dang, there's a
Naomi,
few.
don't
Ni-
forget.
Naomi, yeah, of
These are
course.
all women that are on the list. I'll let you take a pick. Which one do you want to look at first?
We got to go with the OG, Jacqueline.
Jacqueline, okay. It was like either her or Jazz. Her.
Either of those, I'm like, dang, dang, it's hard to choose, but it's just two of them are just like they're built in their own right.
Well, shout out to Jacqueline because of her, a lot of girls got trained. Also, if no one else is aware, I didn't know until like even recent. Jacqueline's from Dallas, Texas. She's a
Yeah,
hometown girl, so
yeah, she is. Because remember the Hall of Fame when WrestleMania was here in Texas, she was inducted.
Give me a hell yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know she was from until they announced it during the Hall of Fame and stuff. I was like, oh snap. But then again, I did watch, you know what? I take that back. I did watch wrestling and stuff at the time, and she was cruiserweight champion like '04, '04, and that was the last time I saw her
yeah,
wrestle.
I'm about to click on her titles. That was my favorite thing about Jacqueline was the cruiserweight title win. I was kind of just looking through some of her matches right there, and I didn't really realize her TNA history. Also, going back to that promotion we were talking about in the 80s, 90s, USWA, she, as you can see here, has a prominent history in USWA as Miss Texas.
Oh, wow.
And
14, dang. She
14,
wanted,
13, 12, 11, 10.
jeez. Oh my God.
That's when she became a 14-time woman. Okay, I get
14-time USWA women's champion. God.
Yeah. Won the WWF World Women's Championship twice and then ended with a 12-day cruiserweight reign.
Mm-hmm.
Her last appearance, though, where was it? Where we saw her the matches was the Royal Rumble, I think. The 18 Royal Rumble. Yeah,
2018.
when Oscar won.
Oh yeah, because that was the year. Yeah.
Damn. Defeated Jackie Moore in a hardcore match at Hardcore Justice 2. Love that. Queen of the Knockouts Battle Royal. She was in that. Let's see. Impact.
Yeah, she was. Yeah, she was in TNA. I didn't watch enough of that at that time.
I know, definitely not. Bro, I feel like I did watch her and didn't even know I was watching Jacqueline still.
Yeah.
Dude, she did a lot in TNA. She was there for a minute doing a lot of big stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Acknowledge me.
Wrestling overseas, Mexico, I see. Oh, man.
My God.
Chavo beats her for the Cruiserweight title. I never did actually know when and how she lost it. She just lost it at Judgment Day. Okay.
Yeah, that was '04. Yeah, '04, I think. Right? Shit.
Oh, you didn't know?
It's going to be Jazz.
Oh yeah, it's gotta go. You gotta go with Jazz, OG, another OG in the wrestling game. And she like kind of like still out there and
Dog.
stuff. Like she's like teaching like the young women out there right now.
First of all, I didn't know the NWA had a cyberspace championship, and she held it for almost 500 days, but that's nothing compared to her almost 1,000 day reign as NWA World Women's Champion.
Jeez.
Did not know that.
She almost reached to 1,000. My God.
Dude, we need Jazz versus Athena for real.
Shoot, right?
Holy
Dang,
man.
because dang, Jazz was just tough.
Hold a whole side mission. Show me this cyberspace women's championship because I didn't know that was a thing.
I didn't know anything either.
This is news to me. And why isn't it okay? You know, this isn't about cyberspace. I just was like, what the hell?
Yeah, like cyberspace. Like,
what was the last match? 2025 was actually her last match.
wow.
She was in TNA Battle Royal in 2025, just the beginning of this year, and then before that was 21. Damn, so she's kind of been active lately. Jazz and Trisha Dora in 2021 defeat Thick and Juicy, which is Brooke Valentine and
Brooke Valentine. Oh yeah, Willow was part of a tag team in the Indies. I forgot. Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, Willow was part of a tag team called Thick and Juicy. Oh man,
he was doing some. Jazz defeats Kiera Hogan. Jazz and Jordan Grace defeat Kiera Hogan and Tasha Steelz. I didn't know about any of this. GCW, she did.
Hey, Jackson. Oh, the Gray Sweatpants Battle Royal. Hold on, yo. Yeah, I remember that.
Man.
Oh, God.
Give Jazz some flowers because she didn't stop, and I didn't know that. She was in the Casino Battle Royal.
Yeah, the Casino Battle Royal. Yes, I remember that.
They faced Ivelisse. The list goes on and on, man. Shout out to Jazz.
So, Jazz is a real one.
She getting her flowers today.
Oh yeah, she's definitely getting her flowers as she should, especially Jacqueline. Like they really like open doors and stuff for the black women of wrestling we see today.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Okay, well, our next one we'll look at then is we're gonna look at Ron Killings again, just a little bit more.
Ron the Truth Killings.
Yeah, because it was like he definitely was the first black NWA World Champion, but he didn't stop there. I remember the first time I saw R-Truth was in 2008 when he was coming back and he was doing the "What's Up."
Yeah, I think my introduction to him was TNA when he was part of Three Live Crew. This group called Three Live Crew with him, Road Dogg, and Conan.
Yes.
Yeah.
3 Live Crew.
3 Live Crew.
I learned, of course, like, you know, watching back that he had done stuff before then, but it was just at that point when I first saw him, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Man, he been in WWE for a minute. It's a WWE.
Yeah, he's been in WWE and stuff.
No, you just made the list.
XPW, old TNA, like NWA's TNA. Man, yeah, he did AAA at one point, and I didn't even know that.
AAA. Oh wow.
Let's look at titles. Some motherfucking titles. 53-time 24/7 champion, bro. Don't you dare forget.
Dog, he was the greatest 24/7 champion.
Yeah. He's Raven held the hardcore title like 39 times or some shit like that. R-Truth held the 24/7 title 53.
My God.
Look at how long the list goes. Like, holy
how long? Good Lord. Jeez. Look how many days that was. It's just like,
yeah, let's look at them all. Let's see. 8 days, 5 days, 2 days, 2 days, 12 days, 4 days, less than a day, 7 days, 7 days, 7 days.
7 days, less than a day. 6 days. 1 day.
He was like losing it every week at one point. 1 day, 1 day, 1 day. 16 days.
16 days. My God.
What was the longest he held it? 39 is sort of 57 he did at one point.
57. Yeah, 57. That was the longest he held.
When did he win the United States title in 2019? I don't remember that.
I know he was the U.S. champion, but I forgot who he fought against.
Man, I gotta go way back. Well, not too far back. Where is he at? R-Truth. Where it at, bro? It's just gonna take me back to R-Truth.
No.
Ruthless aggression.
Man, dude's done a
Yeah,
lot of stuff. I can
I
find
guess.
that team history. 2019. The Drake Maverick is the okay.
Yes.
Here's your title
Everyone
change. Here
continue.
it is. Defeats Mojo Rawley.
That's the 24/7 title.
Okay, no, you're right. Let's just go ahead and jump off of that. When the hell did he win this U.S. title?
Yes, wait a minute.
U.S. King. Wait, he had a title match against Walter for the U.K. title. That's
Wait,
insane.
what? That was at a house show.
Yeah.
What the? Wait, what the fuck? What?
Oh, you didn't know?
Okay,
Really?
well, he lost the titles to Samoa Joe. I'll just have to find this. It's gonna go United States title. Yeah, Andrade. Let's look for that title change.
Wait, shit. Oh, I think. Well,
Dude, he stayed beating Andrade. What the fuck?
dang, dude. Dang, what?
He defeated Rusev and Shinsuke.
No, he defeated Shinsuke for the title change.
For
He
real,
defeated
yeah.
Shinsuke. What? No, I forgot. Yeah, see, I knew he was like U.S. champion at the time, but I didn't know who he defeated. I forgot who defeated. I was like, wait, Shinsuke?
Bruh.
Damn.
You're telling me in 2019, Ron Killings, R-Truth, Ron the Truth Killings was beating and facing Rusev, Andrade, Shinsuke, Samoa Joe. What the heck? I believe it. Again, I've never been the last to admit that Ron Killings is one of the most underrated wrestlers. That's like a goof off gimmick now. But
Yeah,
damn,
Acknowledge me.
we
that
didn't even
is
look at all the time. We did.
that's a
Look
weird.
at
This
it.
is a weird. I'm sorry. 2019 was a weird timeline.
Yeah, absolutely. It absolutely was.
My God.
Ding dong. Hello.
Now, we're not just sticking in WWE or people who are ex WWE per se. The next person I want to talk about real quick is somebody who was pursuing black excellence outside of the main stream source, and that's Jay Lethal in ROH.
Oh yes.
Jay
Oh
Lethal.
yes. The Black
Black
Machismo.
Batista. I was just about to say, bro.
Oh
Just about to
yeah.
say. The fact that like you tap him on the shoulder and he just changes altogether is wild.
Mm-hmm. My God.
Let's share this the screen again. Boom, boom. Look at this badass career this man has had.
Just check the catalog. My God.
His list goes, bro. He's been some places. This
You
is
know
the
what?
whole thing right here.
My introduction to Jay Lethal was TNA.
Really?
forgot to
Mine was ROH.
It was TNA because at the time when he was like wrestling and stuff, and then when he teamed up with Xavier Woods at the time he was Consequences for Creed.
Yeah,
They were
consequences.
together.
Bro.
Oh God, you cannot forget Consequences Creed. That's Xavier Woods' TNA run. Consequences Creed, and then teamed up with Lethal Consequences.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like he, also Monty Brown, I'm going to get some honorable mentions. But this right here, I just screenshotted this. This is every promotion that Jay Lethal has worked for between 2001 and 2025.
My
And
God.
in the process of all this, he has helped all the talent with him, underneath him, around him. Dude.
He's been around, dude. Like, he's a veteran.
He's definitely like the best ROH TV champion for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I knew this title list was going to be a little bit lengthy. ROH Pure Champion, BTW
X Division.
There it is, right there.
X Division, though. Cannot forget that.
Free.
Yep.
Acknowledge me.
One of the best TV champions. Let's see. Foundation holding the ROH tag titles for 441 days. I had a Foundation shirt. I wore it in like episode last month, I think, too. Had my Foundation shirt on randomly one day. Another honorable mention, Jonathan Gresham, man.
Oh yeah, Jonathan Gresham definitely like one of the dude. technical wrestlers. I actually met John DeGresham at one of the VIP wrestling shows like a few years back. Dude, dude, he's so fucking short. Dog, like what the, like what in the world?
Oh, you didn't know?
We could have had a dream match with him and Brian Danielson, man. We could have had that right there.
That's all you ever want.
Yeah, man.
Where's cage match for our next girl here? Come on, bro. Where y'all at cage match? I'll have to look up cage match specifically. The next person I'm looking up, going back to the women's side of things, somebody who I feel like you don't want to forget about, Alicia Fox. Man, Alicia Fox.
Oh, man.
Her and Layla both, which I actually forgot to add Layla to this list. I want to look at Layla. Both tremendous athletes. Let's look at her titles. I know she was a Divas champion. She's also 24/7 champion.
Yeah. She was Divas champion for 56 days.
Yeah. Let's see. She recently wrestled in TNA as of May 25th. Bro, that's like 5 days ago from when we're recording this. You telling me Alicia Fox wrestled in TNA 5 days ago?
Yeah, she's part of TNA now, and it's like, oh, snap.
Okay. Didn't know. She faced Mia Slamovich. This is news to me, bro.
Now she with Tessa now.
French toast sticks. Oh wait, this is uncensored. Fuck off. And see, here's the thing. One, I know why they did that. That's fucked. Two, I was not aware that she was wrestling because I stopped following TNA when they canned Scott D'Amore for being like, hey, let's make this place better. So that's a whole side note. But I had no idea. And the fact that they're like, to get this heat off of Tessa Blanchard, we're gonna bring Alicia Fox in, and she's your gal.
That's just like, nah.
This ain't it.
This ain't it, man. This ain't it, man. I was like, oh.
Black Excellence match right here. Except they only let it go for 1:50. Ember Moon and Alicia Fox. Give them some damn ring time. What the hell?
Right? I don't know. The mixed match. Oh God.
They have some house show matches though. They put them on the house show matches.
Yeah.
I just know she's been in a lot. The first time we see Alicia Fox too, this whole side note, we see her as Edge and Vicky Guerrero's wedding planner on SmackDown.
Yeah, that was the introduction. Oh man, Edge had a sample.
Now you see.
Drink it in, man.
Her last match was to Paige at the Amarillo Civic Center.
At a house show.
Yeah.
Oh shoot.
Here's a weird random fact. I was going to this show. I was on the road to this show because I was going to go watch The Shield for the first time ever, and I had a flat tire like before I got to Lubbock, and I never got to go. I could have seen Layla's last match.
Oh wow.
Dang.
I didn't realize she was in that company till like 2015. Cause like
mostly having dark matches, looks like having house show matches and dark matches.
What's up with that?
Yeah, dang.
What titles she got on her besides half women's champion? That one's
oh god,
the Divas. Yeah,
the Divas champion, of course. I hate to change. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I hate to change to where like it went from women's champion to Divas champion, because that was like a dark time for the women's wrestling side.
Super dark time.
But this bitch is getting on my nerves.
Okay. He's big. He's buff. And also, he hurts people. The next person we're going to look at real quick is Bobby Lashley.
Bobby Lashley. Ooh. We got to look up. Hey, we got to, since we're on that topic, we got to look up like their catalogs. We got Bobby, MVP, Shelton.
Yeah. So, I have Shelton in the list. MVP was in our honorable mentions with this, but MVP is one of my favorite U.S. champions of all time. Shelton Benjamin is one of my favorite, period. There's so much more I can do with him.
Hands down, man. Shelton Benjamin, dude.
Yeah. Let's look at all the titles just like this.
United States.
Champion, 2-time IC champion. When was Bobby the IC champion? I missed that
Oh,
part.
Bobby. Oh, when he came back. When he came back, he
Yeah.
was the IC champion, I think 27. No, it was 2018 or 2019.
It's
20,
2019. It's funny we got it right on
2019.
the screen.
Yeah, because I remember he was IC champion.
He's currently the AEW World Tag Team Champions with Shelton Benjamin.
Of course, current.
Yeah, this was my favorite Bobby Lashley period right here. ECW Heavyweight Champion.
Oh yeah, the during like the ECW run that he
Yeah,
had.
and he was like the last good champion because he lost that title to Vince McMahon, and it all went to shit from there. It all
That
went
was
to shit.
that's the slap in the face.
We
That's
literally
when Vince McMahon rocked the do-rag after beating Bobby.
But this bitch is getting on my nerve.
3-time World Tag Team Champion. I don't know how many are with Chad Gable, or not Chad Gable, Charlie Haas. They basically the same damn person.
Right?
US champion.
Dog, it really is. Do you think about it? Like Charlie Haas, Chad Gable, it's the same person.
Bro, can we please just acknowledge for the moment the gold standard version? Shelton Benjamin, US champion, ECW champion, Shelton Benjamin. Or did he not
Yeah.
win the ECW title? Because it shows here he didn't, but I could have sworn Shelton Benjamin
I
in
thought he did.
2009. Yeah, I thought in 2009 he won the ECW title between like him and Christian.
I swear he did. I don't know.
Man, come on. This is Mandela effect is what this is.
Yeah, I was like, come on now. Like, did that ECW got a raise?
Yeah.
Something like, what's happening? But yeah,
Him and
man.
Charlie Boss won the WWE Tag Team titles twice, and they won the ROH Tag Team titles twice as well. And I didn't know that second part. The third
Oh
one
yeah,
was-
because they were feuding with the Briscoes.
Oh my dude, well, you're gonna have to Matchbox show me that match sometime. I need to see World's Greatest Tag Team versus Briscoes. You kidding me?
Yeah, I gotta find that because I remember seeing I saw the promos that the Briscoes did on the World's Greatest Tag Team.
Also, a little honorable mention I see here: Cedric Alexander.
Cedric Alexander, of
Yeah.
course.
And on top of that, who could forget Rich Swann?
Oh yeah, Rich Swann, definitely.
I forgot the OVW Tag Team Championships he holds with Brock Lesnar.
The Minnesota Stretching Crew. I thought it was Minnesota Wrecking Crew, but it's Minnesota Stretching Crew. Because Shelton Benjamin was rocking a do-rag. Remember seeing a picture of him and Brock, like the younger selves, and it's like, Shelton Benjamin rocking a do-rag? Oh shit. He was really athletic too. That man was peak.
I'm gonna start knocking him out a little bit. We'll look at Mark Henry real quick.
Oh yeah, Mark Henry.
From Silsbee, Texas.
Yep.
Damn, bro, they didn't give him no damn titles. I thought his title list would be so much longer.
He didn't win a lot of titles in the company and stuff.
And I thought in 2006, around the Rumble time, he was the World Heavyweight Champion, but I know Kurt Angle was, so.
Yeah, no, he didn't win
just
any.
took out Batista.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Damn, but still, Mark Henry's had a lengthy career in this business and done a lot. Last was seen in the ring at the Greatest Royal Rumble.
Oh God, the Greatest Royal Rumble, where Titus O'Neil slipped.
Yeah. World Slide. He has some NWA time, HWA time. That's good to know. He's been around since '96, bro. It's just predominantly WWF, WWE. They weren't letting him go for nothing.
Yeah, he was been there for a long time.
Looks like we've had enough talk. It's time for the main event.
Oh God, we got to go with Kofi.
Bro, of course.
You gotta go with the GOAT.
Where's Kofi been besides WWE for the last decade? He's just been here. He came in through developmental, OVW, FCW. He's stayed WWE all the way through. That's
Oh yeah, he stayed. Yeah, he really did.
look at that
All
damn
the
thing.
all
Look
the
at that.
the catalog of the tag titles
Absolutely.
for that is Intercontinental. He wanted tag title with CM Punk. I remember that.
But who could forget the biggest one when he won the WWE title? We all cried.
Man, we all cried. We did. That 2019, we all cried, man. That was one of the most emotional moments and stuff. I don't care if
Yeah.
anybody say that was one of the greatest emotional moments in WrestleMania.
I think
Like
on like any other circumstance, if someone told me Kofi Kingston pinned Daniel Bryan clean, I'd be like, that's stupid. But because of the moment, the magnitude of the Kofi never winning one, just there was so much to it that was
the
like
build up
Kofi.
because here's the thing. Like me and some of my friends, we went to the Elimination Chamber back in 2019
You
in
lucky son
Houston.
of a bitch.
We went over there, like Daniel Bryan, Kofi. I forgot who else was a part of that Elimination Chamber match, but everybody was on their
Joe,
seat. Everybody
Joe
was on their feet. I was like, dog, like we thought Kofi was gonna win that. We thought Kofi was gonna win that one and
yeah.
stuff. Cause like, dude, it was like it was just so invested in it.
And what's crazy, ironically enough, I just watched that Elimination Chamber 2 days ago.
Mm,
Drink it in, man.
Biggie, got him. You gotta miss Biggie, man. I know he's doing stuff outside, but he you cannot deny the fact that Big E is definitely one of the ones.
I would like to argue, not necessarily argue, because I don't think anyone's arguing with me, but I've always, Big E could have came back. I think they would have put the WWE title back on him again at some point. I felt like Big E had a lot of momentum before he got injured.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
Another guy who's just been in WWE system since developmental, since the
Yeah,
jump.
the FCW and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Big E Langston.
yeah. Three ain't enough. I need five.
Yeah, when he won the NXT title, that was a huge moment, man.
That really was.
His last
That
match
really.
was with Holland, right?
Yeah,
The
that neck injury. Oh, yep.
Some say right here at this house show is when he got injured, and then he shouldn't have been wrestling this tag match.
Yeah. Oh,
Man,
it really was. Damn.
I hope a day comes where even if it's just for one fucking match, Big E just gets to end on his terms.
Yeah.
Man.
Damn, man. Like he didn't get his end the right ending that he needed.
Absolutely not.
I was gonna say, dude, we're gonna I would say look up MVP's catalog because he's definitely did some work in New Japan.
MVP in New Japan sounds fun, bro. Everybody
Yeah.
going to New Japan is always fun because you're like, wait, they did what? I remember when I found out, not to put Brock Lesnar on the Black Excellence episode, but like, I remember seeing Brock Lesnar in New Japan. That was weird. Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
Get both of these guys off of this. Neither one of these guys belong on this damn episode.
Yeah, I was like, God, like, why are we mentioning these names, Duke? This is Juneteenth. We ain't mentioning them.
But get the F out.
Right?
Get the F out.
Oh man, IWGP Intercontinental Champion. I didn't even.
He was the first black IWGP Intercontinental Champion.
Dog, I didn't even know.
He was the first.
Look at this.
If you see a picture of him, with that belt, it looks dog. He looks so dope with that belt.
I can only want to look at his career. I want to pull this up.
Drink it in, man.
He's also known as Lord of War. Didn't anyone know MVP was known as Lord of War?
Lord of War.
Oh, look at that shit, bro. He been around.
Yeah,
2017, he was working, dog. He was working in 17.
Oh, he was a workhorse.
Holy shit.
My God, MVP is a veteran, man. Like he dropped dude, he's on that uncle status.
Give me a hell yeah.
I remember somewhere around this time, 17, 18, seeing him like make a random appearance on like an anniversary show at WWE. And I was like, whoa, MVP looking great.
Yeah, I think it was
Meanwhile,
like
he's out
the
wrestling.
yeah, I was like everybody playing cards and stuff, like APA and stuff. I was like, yo, it's
Yeah.
MVP. Like, yo, like that crazy.
You son of a bitch.
Look at him with it.
With the with even with him and Tanahashi and stuff, like, bruh.
It's crazy.
Tell,
It's crazy.
tell me that shit did not go hard.
This is really, really crazy to think about.
Like, dog, that's perfectly like, dude, he's a first.
Acknowledge me.
Thank you.
Oh, we gotta check out. So Naomi,
Yeah.
man.
Who's up next on our list here? We're getting all closer towards the bottom. And this is what we needed. Because again, fun fact, when she became the SmackDown Women's Champion and the whole Glow title, I was in the first house crowd that got to see that title. So watch it back on Total Divas, you see the sort of like how all that came to be. I realized the house show she debuted at was the house show I was at. I was one of the first people to see the Glow title.
What? The Glow title, it is really fit. It fit her so well.
Yeah.
When they put the Glow stuff on that belt, I was like, yes. The Queen, yes.
Acknowledge me.
She looks so good.
It's the only place she's been outside of FCW, WWE.
Yeah, when she left WWE and stuff, her and Sasha Mercedes.
Man, shouts out to Naomi, man.
My
I wasn't
God.
gonna leave her off. I wasn't gonna leave her off, especially when we're looking at the women's side of it, which got to get our last woman in. Any guesses on who that could be?
Oh, Mercedes.
I love that you said Mercedes, but no, it's actually Bianca Belair.
Oh, Bianca. Oh, yeah. Of course. Bianca Belair, her resume speaks for itself.
And all the little girls that love her. That look up.
She was unapologetically black. I feel like Bianca Belair is definitely like, she's built different. Like, from having like no experience in wrestling and stuff until now.
She's only been in WWE, as you can see. That she's only been here.
Yeah, because she was doing different stuff before then. She was doing different athletic stuff.
Women's world champion, 2-time tag champ, 2-time women's champ. Yeah.
Yep.
And a long career ahead of her. I would say. At least I hope so. You never know, but I'd say so.
She got more in her tank. She definitely got more in her tank and stuff. So she could have the belt like 5 or 6 more times.
5 times.
Right.
We'll give more honorable mentions before we leave, but our last one we're like covering, looking into. Of course, this was a big one, and a more recent one. I got to be a part of this man's defining moment live, and that was a big deal. Swerve Strickland, first ever black.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
And he, as you can see here, he worked his ass off forever until he got to that point.
Oh yeah. From like the work experience, the resume that he done, man, he was doing like indie stuff before he got signed to WWE and stuff. So he like, with Lucha Underground, especially Defy,
Defy
promotion. His home promotion too.
Man, you thought MVP was working in 17-18. Look at Swerve Strickland's 2016 and 18. That's insanity.
Bro, dude, that man was hustling. He was hustling like crazy. Like, from doing all the wrestling shows and even like with his own podcast, the Swerve City podcast that he was doing.
Acknowledge me.
So it's like
Lucha Underground Trios champion with Dante Fox.
AR Fox, the Mag, and Son of Havoc with Willie Mag? I know Willie Mag was part of it.
WXW World Tag Champ, North American Champion, Ringmaster Champion, Hypersonic Championship. I ain't even gonna ask.
Hypersonic.
Which yep, dude.
Oh,
But this is the one that like you really gravitate towards because he was the first, and AEW
he's
needed to have a first, especially
definitely,
at the time it happened.
yeah, like the first AEW World Champion, and this man really took it. Like his run, like you got to know something. His run as the AEW World Champion was really good.
Absolutely.
He brought the culture. He brought the culture to AEW wrestling. Like, is ever wonder why all these rappers showed up, especially freaking Floyd Mayweather and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, that is insane.
One of those things where it's like, dude, getting to be there for that moment was awesome, but knowing that that moment was just the tip of the iceberg for something so much bigger, that was what's so great about it. And that's why it's still to this day, 3 seasons after it happened, to this day, it's still the ending of the show. When the show closes, you see Swerve in the purple confetti and Prince Nana dancing.
Oh, yeah, man, that was so
Moment.
surreal, man. Can't believe you went. Can't believe you saw that in person, and also can't believe that we saw Swerve in the All In Summer Series as the world champion.
Yeah.
He was world champion at the time. I was like, man, got to see him before he dropped the belt.
I got to see him a few times while he had that championship still, and that was great. I have videos still before that even happened, though, of him and Moxley at the Continental Classic when they had
Oh
that.
yeah, we was when we
No, he just lost. He
when
just
we
barely
first.
lost.
That's really definitely the show that we went. We went on that one.
Dude. With the honorable mentions and all of that, the one thing I always bring up, I'm jealous of. One black superstar that meant a lot to me in my childhood that you've gotten to see live is Too Cold Scorpio. I feel like
Yeah. We had to. Here's the thing: we had to honor him. We had to mention him on this episode because Too Cold Scorpio, he's been in the game for a long time, and he still is to this day, which is incredibly like
that blows my
completely
mind.
surreal. And I was really honored to watch him wrestle because watching him wrestle against who Low Key and Ninja Mac. I was like a three. Yeah, Ninja Mac's the homie, but it was like just a 3-way exhibition match at the VIP wrestling show.
Yeah.
Back. I was like, man, he still could go.
Let's see. Scorpio Sky, or he deserves an honorable mention. Keith Lee,
Keith Lee, yes. Keith Lee needs to be mentioned too, because here's the thing. He won the North American Championship, and he had the North American Championship and the NXT title both at the same time.
Yeah.
Like nobody during the NXT, nobody didn't do that.
And that kind of even segues it into today, where we kind of end on like we talked about black excellence in wrestling in the past, but going forward, who carries the torch? You have your Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams, Javon Evans, even though I think his gimmick is kind of silly. Obafemi. Who do you think carries the torch for the next generation in black excellence? I feel like you have a big say so on that.
Like I was, of course, like some of the names that you mentioned, like Obafemi, Javon Evans, Carmelo, Trick. I gotta say Leon Slater from TNA.
Yeah. My boy Exodus.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Exodus Prime. He's gonna be the future. Definitely. Maya World. She's another one. She's definitely another one.
Yeah, dude, I'm thinking like a bunch now.
It's a bunch. Yeah, it's a bunch too. It's like you got to know something. There's like where ROH, like got Queen Aminata, Red Velvet,
the Queen.
The Queen. Like she needs some gold. Of course, she's definitely the future. Dang, it's a lot. There's really a lot of like great black talent in the wrestling industry right now, and it's felt like there's going to be a point where we're about to dominate this shit.
And that's a nice positive takeaway from where this started, looking back into the past almost a century ago. more than a century ago. Even we started at 1905, and we barely had shit to talk about. And now we're like having to think up all the names we can. So it shows that definitely strides were made. I think my ending question: do you think enough strides have been made, or do you think there's still room for improvement in the segregation, the race gap in this industry? I feel like, because we talk about it a lot, you know, Triple H especially has been under fire for not utilizing black talent. So do you feel like that's overbearing, or you feel like no, there's still room for improvement?
There's still room. There is still room for improvement because here's the thing: it's like on the other, like with WWE and stuff, like they're not booking the black talent on their PLEs and stuff like that. It's just like it's just like it's just like come on, dude. It's like you got Bianca, you got Jay, you got Naomi, you got Carmelo, and like the New Day and stuff like Shawn Michaels is booking the black talent better than Triple H is because with the whole NXT stuff and the fact that like NXT Stand and Deliver main event was a triple threat between Trick, Oba, and Javon Evans.
Yeah.
First time 3 black men fighting over the top belt of NXT in a triple threat. That's like on the main. That's the main event right there. So what I would say is, Triple H is doing better at booking black talent than Triple H. Which this needs to be we still need improvement. This needs to be pushed.
Fickle. They're fickle.
Love it. Because I feel like a lot of people would agree with you, and I feel like you were in the perfect position to make that statement.
Because here's the thing with NXT is how the booking with NXT and compared to when it comes to main roster, that's questionable because Triple H, he doesn't know what to do with it. That's why I kind of felt worried with when Oba gets called up, Javon's gonna get called up, Ricky Saints gonna be called up. So it's definitely only time will tell on that.
Yeah. My ending note: I don't care if you put Alicia Fox in the equation. We're not letting Tessa Blanchard slide. We're not giving.
No, we're not. No, well, leave her. Put her out somewhere. I can't. It doesn't add up like that.
This has been a great one. I feel like this is one of our better through the tables we've ever done, and we did it on Juneteenth. So I hope
of course
you enjoy your Juneteenth. Celebrate a little.
Yeah, horticulture.